Good morning, folks. It's the 29th of August, 2024. As I mentioned in a short last night, early this morning rather, yesterday, early morning, 2 more arsons in abandoned homes here in Kalamazoo again. We're going to drive by one right up here. This is the Humphrey Street location. Gonna take a look at this place. The fire department said they had a hard time putting this one out because so much material was like hoarded inside the house that they had to really work on it for a while, but they got it out. And right up here is the home. We'll drive by kind of slow. There's no traffic here. Right on the corner of Bixby Road and Humphrey. There it is. The other one is not too far away from here. Right there is the Juvenile Detention Center, otherwise known as the Juvie, and the court building for juveniles. And they take them right through that little tunnel way you can see, and right here is the lockup. Here's where they lock up the juveniles. This is quite a large facility, I'm sad to say. It's bigger than most county jails. This is still all the juvie. And then here's the family court building right here. They take care of the friend of the court and all those type of cases are right up in that building. All right, go take a look at the other house. Be right back. Well, folks, I went over to the other location on Sherwood, and there are several people standing around that fire location, and I got kind of waved on by the locals, and so I didn't film at all there. So I came over here and took a little picture of some art. Go back and take a look at a local East Side old fire station. Be right back. All right, one of the old local churches here back in the day. And on East Main here, older East Side neighborhood. It is the hood now, literally. Going by the embankment here, it used to be a elementary school looking downtown Kalamazoo straight ahead. Used to be a Dairy Queen right down here in the corner. I think you can see it. I believe it was called Hilltop Elementary School. Now they put housing up there. And right here's the fire station. Now it's a home. Pretty cool, huh? This is an engine house. Engine house number 5, erected in 1907. Right here in the middle of the hood. All right, I'll be right back. Well, since I was so close and haven't been up here since fall, I thought I would take a little ride through Riverside Cemetery. I know they've been doing some work here this past year. Doesn't look like the road's any better. Maybe it is as we climb the hill here. And they did patch this a little bit. Not far from where we are right here is Mr. Westnage. His grave used to have a bronze bust. If it were a deer mount, it would be known as a shoulder mount. solid bronze and sitting on top of a marble pillar. And years ago, somebody got up in here and made off with it, and it's never been recovered. Straight ahead in the distance, I know you can't tell because of the fog, but there's the big paper mill. There's graphic packaging right there, here about in Kalamazoo. There's a lot of hills and tight roadways through this cemetery, similar to Mountain Home. Some of the graves, the bodies of in the old cemetery down on Weston Street, the Pioneer Cemetery, I did the video on where the many of the bodies are still there. Some of them, the wealthier families, were able to have their remains disinterred and buried here in Riverside, and some of the others in Mountain Home. As you can tell by the old monuments and family markers, that this is a certainly an older cemetery. And if we look right back here, this is where the grave of Westnage is at. You might as well take a break here a second. We'll walk back and have a look. Local hero, officer in the military. And again, you can see right through the trees. There's graphic packaging back there. Hard at work making paper products. It's always a lot of fun and walk through old cemeteries. Lord knows I've cleaned enough headstones in these places. This one too. Not in this section though. There's a lot of work to be done. There's thousands of headstones here that need attention. This is not the easiest ground to traverse. Down through the valley right here in the fall, all these oak trees start changing color. This is really nice down here. We can see we have Civil War headstones right here. This one being displaced by the growing tree. I see a lot of that. Older cemeteries, you can't help. Certainly Grand Army of the Republic, 1861, 1865. Person by the last name of Cleveland. It's like Company D. New York Cavalry. Sitting here. Looks like next to a comrade. This one needs a cleaning. I can't read it. Others here have been toppled, as it were. A little marker. This is a section L, as you can see on the end. This is a section marker. Uphill, there are more Civil War graves. There's a Zinke up there too. We're going to do a video on Zinkes later. Zinkes have become my favorite tombstone, marker, monument. Right next to the Woodsman of the World. Man, down in Coldwater, there's a beautiful Woodsman of the World family plot. I never seen anything like it, except online. Next time I'm close to cold water, I'll do a short on that. Here we are at the site of the Westnage family plot, as it were. There's Colonel Joe. The famous Westnage Street in Kalamazoo is named after. And right here was his bust. And you can see over the years, as the bronze had weathered and patinaed, it had stained the Westnage marker. And of course, his bust is gone. Never to have resurfaced. And here he is, Colonel Joe. Joseph B. Westnage, 1872 to 1918. He's a colonel, 126th Infantry, 32nd Brigade, or 32nd Division, American Expeditionary Forces. That means World War I. Eva. This is his parents. Thomas and his mother, Mary. His father was a Civil War veteran. Ran in the family. I don't know if the bronze will ever be recovered. It was life-size, and it was from the mid-chest going up through the shoulders and the head. A beautiful bronze. But somebody got it years ago. Very sad. I've not heard of anyone raising money or anything like that to have it replaced. I would imagine something like that would be $25,000, $35,000, maybe more. This is interesting. Here's a couple of stones that were sitting upright. Here's the actual bottoms of them right here, and they've been knocked over like this. I think it's just the lay of this land. The ground right here is very uneven and so forth. Looking back over in other parts of the cemetery here, the Potter's Field is right back here, one of them in this cemetery. They have a couple of them. Looking down through the valley right here, you see the old Jeep Conestoga over there. A few minutes ago, one of our Kalamazoo City police officers pulled in, and they patrol here frequently. There's been a homeless issue up here last couple of years, and as I pulled in today, there were people camped out down in the Veterans Memorial area there. That's it looked like they were just starting to pack up. It's getting light out. Had a nice night. Very interesting old Levi Hicks. Yes, sir. This is the whole Hicks family. Need to be cleaned. Of course, you'll hear me comment, because when I do this kind of work, I see things like this, and just need to bring the crew up here sometime and go to town. Make a day of it, maybe get 100 stones cleaned. And then you know what? Unless you knew where that area was, we could come here and do this area and clean all these stones. And unless you knew where it was and drove by and said, hey, look at there, you'd hardly notice it. You'd have to do them all. And you can see they all need it. So the closer to the ground, the more biologics. These right here are very easy to clean. Probably take no D2 at all, like I'm sure of that. This is just scrubbing with a soft brush and water rinsing. And you can make those look just like the day they were set. Now this biological staining that's here on the Newman monument, family marker, see this this dark material? It's all biologicals, also feeding off old residue from pollution. Eats away at these things. That will take D2. And this type of a porous stone, these are a handful. These are a handful to clean. You can do it, and I have done it. They look marvelous when you're done, but they take a little bit of extra care. Here's a zinky. Of course, made of a zinc alloy. They don't corrode, they don't rust. They stay just like this. It's like the day it was set. The Long family. You have Philip A. He was born July 20th, 1834, and he died April 18th, 1872. Say this was placed in April, May, in early June, maybe July. They had to have it manufactured and shipped here and so forth. So it's been around since 1872, and it still looks like this. Veteran, Civil War. I've seen these zinkies almost 14 foot tall. There's one here in the cemetery. There's a tall one. It's not quite that tall, but it's a good 10 footer. Here's an old bench covered in moss. I looked at this, 4.5 years ago. Took some stills of it. Then it still had one of the old supports here under this end. You can see where it's kind of been moved. See the ground right there? Yep, it's been displaced a little bit. That may be the leg, and they just displaced it. And right here on top of it's a big footprint. Okay, well, somebody's been back here messing with this thing. It's old. It's 100 years old. I was going to clean it, like I said, about 4 years ago or so, and it just looked so cool with that moss on there like that, and I just left it. But since then, you can see somebody's been up here and just couldn't leave their hands off it. This is one of the potter's fields back here. Take a short walk back here. Be right back. Here's an old headstone that lays right here, flat, with tire tread prints across it. Probably people mowing the lawns. There's the tractor tread prints running across it. And then you can see right there where the tracks go. Yep. Okay, then be right back. Okay, here in Riverside Cemetery, Kalamazoo, Michigan, here's the Potter's Field Burial Grounds. This is one of two. And this is has been prepared and so forth from Boy Scout troop. It looks like 211 in Kalamazoo. I'm not associated with the Boy Scouts. I don't know much about the troops and that. I was in the U.S. Army. I missed the Boy Scouts, but Eagle Scout Services Project 2013. So they must have come out here and cleaned this all up and prepared it. But here's the Potter's Field. Burials and the spreading of ashes. And right down here, straight ahead down the little service road and around the corner is a second area. It's also a potter's field, the old Quonset hut there for the maintenance. It used to be for the maintenance things, but that's all hired done now. There's crews that come in here from the city and maintain this. I don't know if there'd be anything over there in that Quonset hut anymore. There probably is, but that's how that goes. Over here you can see another Zinky right over here. Boom. That's right. And we'll take a little walk back to the vehicle. That was really nice, the officer coming up here and checking on things. He pulled up, seen my vehicle, seen me back there by the Westnedge Monument, and I waved at him as I was making the video, and he flashed his lights and backed out. We're glad they're here. Not a problem, never a problem. What would be a problem if they weren't here? We need more of them. We need more of them. You can see on the top of this little family marker, really pretty, this is called a finial, okay? They're plugged on there by a little iron rod that's placed down in the stone, and there's one right here that's missing the finial. The finial's laying on the ground right here at the base. But there's no little iron rod, and this goes to show you the lengths that people will go to. Scavengers come through cemeteries and they find out about this. They pop those off and they remove those iron rods. Generally they're made of bronze, sometimes iron, and you just collect them all up and go sell them for scrap. Go get yourself another bottle of hooch or a rock or something. Absolutely sick. Right back. Interesting couple of graves. I always find them. This is Pearl J, wife of U.C. Grandboy, 1876 to 1907. Next is Blanche B, daughter of J.L. and J.E. Moreland. She died May 6th of 1896, age 22 years. They that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Here's Mother Janine Askey Moreland, 1840 to 1935. Right here at the top of the hill, this little valley, backed all up with the stone wall right here and the old bricks, the kiln fired bricks that have the actual tile type facing. Nelsonville Block Company, all Nelsonville blocks running both sides all through here. Here's where an animal's got in here, probably a woodchuck. Okay, thanks for watching today. I know we kind of skipped around the place from fires to getting kicked out of places where I couldn't film where there was the fire, to juvenile detention centers, to a nice little cemetery, nice quiet way to end all that earlier mess. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.